Join now on the Rock Show, and we've got a guest in the studio this week. It's Andrew Turnbull from Band School. Hello, sir.
Hi there.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, and I'm the same. Nice to be here.
Put a face to the name kind of thing. Welcome to our humble little studio.
The face of Band School here in the Borders.
The face of Band School. Right then, so for anybody who doesn't know, I'm guessing obviously it's new to this area. What is Band School?
Okay, Band School is a school that I set up 5 years ago in Manchester with the aim of putting young bands together and teaching them band skills, developing them as bands and putting on professional gigs for them, organising recording sessions and more.
And does this kind of involve the whole thing of being in a band, about what to do if you've got somebody courting you and stuff, and you look after the bit, you sort of teach them out the business side as well? Is it just purely musical?
The business side could be covered in masterclasses, one-off sessions with visiting professionals or otherwise, yeah.
And what was it drove you to start this up? Obviously, we all know about the music scene in Manchester. It's been hugely influential in this country. And was it just kind of seeing young guys sort of flapping about and thinking, right, what are we going to do?
Well, without boring you with the details,
bore away.
Okay, then, right. I know you can edit this down later on anyway, so what the hell. No, I mean, I've been teaching music for many years in all sorts of contexts, from schools to colleges to working for music services, and doing a lot of private tuition as well. And I think it was mostly through that I was teaching a lot of young guys guitar and so on, and I thought, well, they need a band now, and I thought I'd set something up for them. So it was a very small ambition at the time, really, to set something up for them and put on some gigs.
So it's not necessarily taking a band under your wing. Sometimes it's about putting a band together as well, having the group of musicians and thinking, right, you and you can go together and stuff.
Yeah, it can be either. It can either be a complete band wants to join us, or it can be individuals who want to be put into a band. And that's mostly what it's been, actually, in the past, is, people from, well, certainly in Manchester, from all corners of Manchester, wanting to get into bands, and I'll take the applications and organise a band for them. Cool. And that quite often works out.
And how many people have you got at the moment? Is it too hard to count individuals? Do you kind of?
Well, at the moment we're doing a lot of promotions before the next term, which starts in October. We've certainly had more bands than we've got at the moment. I mean, it can't always be outrageously busy. Yeah. We've had 14 bands a term.
Excellent. I mean, probably any more than that becomes difficult to keep track of who's doing what, I guess, does it?
Well, it potentially could become chaotic with any more, particularly the gigs. I mean, trying to organise a gig with 14 bands.
It's pretty difficult. I know we tried it with 6. That's
testing.
About enough. That's about enough.
Can be testing.
And does it encompass all kinds of music? We're not just talking sort of rock music here, are we? Or just kind of anybody who wants to get together and play?
It can be, yeah. I mean, we've done a lot of rock bands. I mean, historically, that's what we've done a lot of, but it doesn't have to be. So, if you're a girl and you want to be in an R&B band, we can consider you.
Really, you could take that on as well. I mean, obviously that's what you're here for, to talk about this, trying to drum up some interest up this end of the country. And of course, we've got the showcase gig coming up as well.
Yes, well, we're trying to organise a showcase gig, but it's all down to support for it. And I'm still looking for 8 good bands in the region who want to take part in this, and they need to get in touch with me because I'm looking for them. Yep. And then we can organise things and take it forward.
And when would the showcase be?
This gig would be on the 2nd of August at the Volunteer Hall in Galashiels.
It's going to take place in Galashiels.
Absolutely.
So there's a few, anybody that's listening to this will know there's a few bands have played it there before, and we'll know that it's a huge hall. We're going to need it filled. We're going to need bands to fill it. We're going to need punters to fill it as well.
It's going to have to be outrageously busy and mega.
Well, we'll do all we can here. It's going to be, it says here, tickets £5 from the bands or £6 on the door. It's not too bad. If you get eight or so bands, it's pretty good value for money.
Of course, and I've done my sums, obviously. And so I know what I'm aiming for. 400 people at least we need in there,
And look out for the leaflets. They're going to be sort of spread around music shops, record shops, gigs, little local gigs and stuff beforehand. We'll have them at the Red Room.
I'm getting those around about, and hopefully I'll get some stuff in the local papers as well.
And how do people get in touch with you? You've got a website as well, I assume.
We have a website which is bandschool, spelt bandskool.co.uk. And you can go on there and you can contact us through that if you like. If you want to apply, even you can do that as well. Everything's updated on the website.
Yeah, it's cool. And what are you looking to get from the bands? What can the bands expect to get if they come on board with this thing? obviously a part. They get their tuition, they get the sort of.
Well, it's a number of things all brought together. To act as a focal point for bands. It's putting them together if they need that. It's using professional staff to help them take it to the next level, get themselves organised, because bands aren't always very organised.
Tell me about it.
And totally counterproductive. Now, we will make sure that they get their act together for the gigs and the recording sessions. Otherwise, we don't.
So basically, it's just somebody to give them a kick up the arse.
Proverbial kick up the arse.
Proverbial, obviously.
With credible people that can help them.
With guidance, and as you say, you've got the tuition there, so if they need improvements musical-wise, which I guess, no young band's going to start out and be perfect. They're all going to need to improve and practice. And
yes.
Do you keep that side as well? Keep practicing? Do you have practice rooms and stuff at the band school?
Well, yes, we do. In fact, we use a school, actually. We have a very good relationship with a school down in Manchester, and I'm still looking for a venue up here. We haven't got as far as organising that. But I would hope to use a local school or otherwise, something that's suitable with many different classrooms that we can set up.
And again, that's something you can build, and hopefully if the showcase is a success, which hopefully it will be, it's something you can build on and get those bands in and get their mates' bands in and get their mates in.
Yeah, it needs to get it started. It needs a sufficient level of interest, and then we can build on it. If there isn't the interest, then we can't. And I'm trying it out. I want to do something in Scotland. I've got a great affinity for Scotland, and this is the first place over the border. And I'm trying it here, and I just want to see if I can entice young musicians in the borders to come and do this, and for it to be a focal point.
I mean, I think that's the thing. It kind of does need a sort of a figurehead, if you will, something to happen like this, because there can, I don't mean this in a cheeky way to some of the bands, but there can be a lot of apathy around where they just kind of say, oh, somebody else will do it, I'll just turn up and blah, 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 fine, I'll have a beer. Kind of thing. So I think we need something like this.
Well, we like good standards at band school. We have some great bands down in Manchester, or have had. We have a high standard.
Any names that maybe we should be looking for in the future? Or?
Well, what quite often happens, unfortunately, some of these bands fall apart once they leave us. That is, when they're with us, we're giving them a focal point. For whatever reason, they eventually leave, and then sometimes they fall apart. But not always, and there are bands that we've put together who are still going and taking it to the next level. Good. And I obviously follow those bands with interest. Sometimes even help them in the studio. I think
that's the thing as well. You can only take people so far. Then it has to be, how much do you want it yourself? Beyond that point, you got to say to the bands, like, right, it's up to you now. You've got your foot set out on the right path, but now you got to follow it yourself.
Yeah, I think sometimes what I look out for is actually individuals within bands who I think have got the prospects. It's not always the complete band, and it might be that individual has to go through a process of finding other individuals and eventually come up with a crack team. If you excuse the expression. That's is good and can go forward.
And you've got to find the sort of strongest individuals and put them together.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens naturally anyway. Take any part of the country, and that's what kind of happens with young musicians. I think they eventually find each other. I think, and then they go forward.
I mean, there is quite a lot of talent around here. We've been doing the bands for a little while now, and we've started sort of spreading further afield, but we always try and put local bands on, and I mean there's loads of them about you. I mean, yes, there are some that are obviously better than others, and that's always going to happen, but we want to fish out the better ones, and as you said before, it's not necessarily, I mean, it probably will turn out to be, it's not necessarily a rock gig. You're just looking for talented bands at the moment who play indie, metal, whatever in between.
Absolutely. I'm very open-minded, and I hope my staff would be open-minded about, what it is we're trying to encourage. I mean, we run a mentoring system, and I try to ensure that the mentor that the band has is